you know what the end of a world looks like. An eruption you can watch from orbit. An impact that turns the sky to fire. A moment, one single terrible moment you could point to and say, there. That is when everything changed. Every disaster in this series has had its moment. The traps, the spike, the day the sea turned to poison. You have learned to brace for the event. This one has no event, no eruption, no impact, no single day. The coldest turn the planet has taken in 40 million years is happening right now, all around you, and it is moving so slowly that nothing alive can feel it move. That is not the reassurance it sounds like. It is the whole trap. Look at the readout. Back home, carbon dioxide, 420 parts per million. Oxygen, 21%, 15 degrees. And here, 34 million years ago, the strangest reading in the whole series, because almost nothing is wrong with it. Oxygen, 21%, exactly like home. Carbon dioxide falling through 760 parts per million on its way down toward the number you were born into. This is the one era where the air is not the threat. The air is healing, and the healing is what kills this world. So what does it actually look like? A world freezing with no catastrophe to freeze it? You step out onto a coast that will one day be Antarctica, and the first surprise is that it is not white. There is rock. There is a dark, wind-bent forest at your back, the last of a hothouse world that used to run warm from pole to pole. There are even leaves, brown and thinning, holding on at the margins. Then you turn to the sea, and you see it. A wall of pale blue where open water should be, new ice. An ice sheet in its first geological moments, grinding down off the high ground and pushing out onto a coast that was subtropical not long ago. It is advancing, slowly, patiently, and there is nothing on this shore built to push it back. Your first breath is easy. Clean, cold, ordinary, the most familiar air you have drawn in this entire series. That is exactly why you relax. And relaxing is the mistake. So if the air is fine, where is the danger? You feel it before you can name it. It is leaving. Heat off your skin faster than your body can put it back. The wind is coming down off that new ice, and it does not stop. And every minute of it takes a little more warmth than the last minute returned. This is the part your body was built to fight. Blood pulls back from your fingers to defend your core. You start to shiver. That is your muscles burning fuel for no reason except to make heat. On an ordinary cold day, you would win this. You would find shelter, wait, warm up. But here the cold is not a day. It is the new baseline of the entire planet, and it is still dropping. How cold and how fast? That is the question that turns an uncomfortable afternoon into something else entirely. So why is it still dropping? What is actually pulling the warmth out of this sky? Not weather, not a bad season, something with a clock on it, and the clock started 50 million years ago. Maureen Ramo and William Rudiman gave the idea its name in the late 1980s. On the far side of this planet, India has been driving into Asia, and the collision is throwing up the Himalayas, the largest crop of fresh rock the world has raised in ages. And fresh rock is hungry. Rain falls on it, pulls carbon dioxide out of the air to dissolve it. It washes the result to the sea as dissolved stone, locked away. A mountain range working as a chemical drain, pulling carbon out of the sky and burying it, grain by grain, for 50 million years without pause. So the cold biting your hands is not a cold snap. It is the far end of the longest, slowest exhale in the history of the planet. You have not wandered into bad weather. You have wandered into the last minutes of a countdown you cannot see, started by mountains you cannot see. And it is almost at zero. So can you just stay ahead of it? Keep to the warm side of the ice and outpace a freeze this slow? To answer that, you need to know what is actually freezing the pole, and the first answer turned out to be only half of one. James Kennett found that half in 1977. Down here, a gap called the Drake Passage had just torn open between Antarctica and South America, and for the first time, a cold current could run the whole way around the continent, sealing it off from the warm water that used to reach it. A cold moat, total isolation. The current, he argued, is what froze the pole, but a current alone is not enough, and this is where the danger changes shape. Robert DeConto and David Pollard ran the numbers in 2003 and found a line, a threshold. When carbon dioxide falls past roughly 760 parts per million, the number on your readout right now, Antarctica does not cool gently. It flips. Ice begins to form, and white ice throws sunlight back to space, which cools the air, which makes more ice, which throws back more light. The feedback closes on itself and runs away. So no, you cannot outpace it because it is not a slope. It is a switch. You are not standing in a world that is slowly getting colder. You are standing on the exact moment it crosses the line and locks. And once it locks, it does not open again for 34 million years. So what does a switch like that actually cost? Look again at the forest behind you. Those brown, thinning leaves are not having a bad year. They are the trailing edge of an entire warm world going out. The crocodiles in the Arctic planet, the one you might genuinely have survived, closing for good. What replaces it is harder, colder, and open. Tundra first, then grass. A world where staying alive means staying warm every hour with no season off. And here is the turn you don't expect. That harder world has a door in it. As the forests thin and the grasslands spread, a niche opens for animals that can carry their own heat and cross open ground. Small, warm-blooded, fast. The cold does not only take, it clears a space. And the lineage that eventually walks into that space tens of millions of years later, upright on two legs, is yours. But that is tens of millions of years away. For you, on this coast tonight, the switch has exactly one meaning. The warm world is behind you, and it is not coming back in time to help. So how does it end? Here, on the day the world locks cold, the wind does not stop. It comes off the ice and finds every gap you have. Your collar, your cuffs, the backs of your hands. The shivering that was keeping you alive burns through the last of your fuel and then, quietly, gives up. Your fingers stop answering. Your thoughts slow, then narrow, then turn strangely warm, and you feel almost comfortable, which is the final lie the cold tells. There is no fire, there is no shelter, there is nothing on this coast that was ever built to hold heat, because until now nothing here has needed to. The ice that took 40 million years to arrive does not care that you have only hours. You have only hours. And the world you are standing in has just decided, for the next 34 million years, to be too cold to keep you. So was there ever a way out? Yes, one, and only in the direction the whole episode kept from you. North. Away from the pole, at lower latitude, this same moment is merely cool. The freeze is real, and it is global, but it is survivable, if you are anywhere but here. This is the one danger in the series you outrun not with time, but with a map. And once you are warm again, look back at what actually happened, because it is the strangest thing in all of deep time. No eruption, no impact, no day. A range of mountains rose in silence on the far side of the world, and for 50 million years it breathed the warmth out of the sky, one grain of dissolved rock at a time, until a line was crossed and an ice world clicked into place. We owe that ice more than we know. It cleared the warm, crowded hothouse and left cold, open ground, the ground our whole warm-blooded lineage learned to cross. You went looking for the moment everything changed. There wasn't one. The coldest turn this planet ever took had no single terrible day, only mountains rising quietly, draining the warmth from the world. And the only reason there is a you to stand on this freezing coast and look for the moment is that there never was one.